Hello, my name is John Gibbons, and I'm with the Security Product Success team here at ServiceNow. And today I'd like to talk about the Vulnerability Response Aggregated Reports framework. Here's a quick safe harbor notice. So some of the topics I'd like to go through is just a quick overview about aggregate reports. And then we're going to do a demo. We're going to dive into how to build definitions, what definitions are available, schedules, right? How do we run these definitions? And then we're going to finally go through building a report using a aggregation definition. So using aggregate reports framework, you can create reports for the data that involves any complex or long running queries for better performance. The framework is going to improve the performance by, it's going to use lesser resources and render reports faster because the data is cached. Aggregating the data and reusing those aggregations and breakdowns, and then reducing the queries to the database. So when you have more than 1 million vulnerable items, you should use the framework provided in the Vulnerability Response Common application scope alongside any kind of standard reports that you may still need to use. So with that said, let's jump into a demo here. So the first thing we want to take a look is if you go to aggregate reports, you're going to see a bunch of things here. First thing, let's take a look at the definitions here. So this is the definitions. If we take a look at all of them, you can see there's quite a bit, right? There's 241 out of the box. If we kind of group this by the table, you can see that there's a lot of reports already built for you, or definitions, I should say, that are already built for you. There's a lot on vulnerable items, so on and so forth, right? So if we take a look at, for example, if we take a look at this one here, right? So this is going to be open vulnerable items by CI. And now you're going to see the source, right? What table do we want to start pulling this data from? What's the function that we want to do, right? Count, sum. All of these here are available, just like in your standard reports. Next, right, what conditions do we want to use? So obviously, we're going to be looking for any vulnerable items that are active. And then the group by. So you have two options to group by. This will use any field that you want from the vulnerable items table. So you can see here we've got a lot of different choices here. But for this one, they're just grouping by CI. But you could have multiple group bys. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to attach this definition to a schedule. That schedule will run daily and then do kind of whatever counts it needs to do. So you can use existing schedules here if you want, or you could create a net new schedule here, right? So if you just wanted to run one, you can do that. If you see here, right, there's this schedule here, and it's running all of these different aggregations. So just like performance analytics, you can bucket the indicators together in a schedule to run them all at once. So you're collecting everything at once. If it's a one-off, right, then obviously you can create your own schedule and do it that way. So let's go ahead and just create a new definition, and then I'll show you how to attach that to a report. So we're going to do create new, and we're going to do discovered items by source. How about scanner source? Okay, right. Obviously, you can give it a definite or a description here. The table, right? We're going to use discovered items, and we're going to do a count function. Conditions. Let's look for where the configuration item is not empty. That would be another good idea for a report. You could look for any discovered items where the CI was empty, right? That would kind of signify that somebody has ripped that reference out from underneath. So, but we're going to stick with this one, and we're going to group this by source. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and submit that. Now we have to go back into that definition. Right. And obviously you have to make it active if you want to use it, right? And then we have to attach it to a schedule. So we're going to just pick an existing schedule, but like I said, you could create your own here. Okay. So now what we need to do is to get any kind of results, right? You obviously have to run the schedule. So if we open that up here, I'm going to open up that record. And then we're just going to, so this is just a scheduled script execution. And so we're just going to go ahead and run this one. Okay. So while we wait for that to do its thing, once the counts are done, right, we should see something in aggregated results and any scheduled runs that were done. So while we wait for that, let's go ahead and build a report. So if we go into your reports module here, right, we're going to view and run. Let's create a report. So this will be discovered items by scanner source. Right, table. We're going to be looking for the aggregate results table. Right, aggregated result. And we're going to pick a type. Let's pick a pie chart here. We're going to group by this field here. We're going to do a count, and then the filter is going to be looking for that specific definition that we just built. So we're going to be looking for aggregation is discovered item by scanner source. We're going to save that. And you can see we've already come back with some results. So if we go back to that definition that we just built, let's refresh it. Right, so you can see we got 6 results here. Right, we've got Qualys, Tenable, Tenable.io, and Rapid7. If we go back to our report here, right, obviously you can put in a little bit more options here. You could do a display data label here and run that, right? Kind of gives you an option here. And when you click into these here, it's going to work like standard reporting, except it's going to take you to this aggregated results table. Now the results table is going to tell you what aggregation was used, right? How are we grouping this data, what the value was, and then it's going to give you a URL directly to that table with the results that were found. So we've got some more information here. All of this information is available in the ServiceNow product documentation. And I thank you for your time today, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.